Alright. What to review? What the hell? Fourth Carnosaur movie? I thought you were a myth, an urban legend created by devils and witches to strike fear into the hearts of moviegoers everywhere. Still, do your worst. Really? That's how you're going to start? By ripping a scene from the first Carnosaur movie? I know these are all owned by the same company, but that's just lazy. Okay, so they play this scene again with some new sound effects. Oh, I missed the Carnosaur version. It sounded so cute. And in comes the town sheriff, played by Eric Roberts. What are you doing here? You're an actual good actor. How could you fall so far? Okay, fair point. But we'll get into that bottomless pit of hell someday. Anyway, Sheriff Jim Tanner is having trouble with the power company, who are trying to cut him off. Don't worry, this isn't pointless. It plays into the movie later. It's about as clever as this script ever gets. The sheriff arrives to take a look at the corpses of the kids that bit it earlier in this movie. Get it? Bit it? Dinosaur? I know I deserve to die.
So tell me what you got, Ben. ID'd them yet?
Judging from the decals on the vehicle, I'd say students from Plains College.
Uh-huh.
You know, I feel sorry for those actors, I really do. Not only did they have to appear in the first Carnosaur film, which, as fun as it was still horrendously bad, they also had to appear in Raptor, which isn't even fun, it's just the horrendously bad part.
A lot of blood.
Oh, camera, would you just stay still for a minute? And here comes the animal control expert, Barbara Phillips, played by Melissa Brazel. She inspects the bodies when suddenly a harrowing and ungodly noise fills our eardrums. And after they all stop talking, we hear this.
What the hell was that? Could have been the wind, maybe.
Oh, come on, who is that dumb? Just the wind. It's just the wind. Still, it's very dinosaur-sounding wind as well. Just very dinosaur-sounding wind. Oh, look at that. It's the wind has taken a physical form. It's remarkably like a raptor, isn't it? It's nice. Still, just the wind. Just the wind. Very violent wind. Well, that was unpleasant. Okay, this is Dr. Hyde. Yes, I know. Jekyll and Hyde. Can we move on now? But he is our evil villain and dresses like an artist for some reason, and is played by Corbin Burnson. He seems to be giving his employees a scolding for a cock-up or something.
The buck stops here. And here. And here.
So it fails to stop twice, but then stops the third time? That makes sense.
How about giving us a hand with this load?
Ooh, back with the chickens! I feel another Carnosaur scene coming on.
Hey Merle, how are you? Hey Tony. Sorry to say.
Oh, how right was I? Yay for me! So we know how this one plays out. The truck driver pulls over, inspects the load and gets killed. You know, I have this horrible feeling that 80% of the deaths in this film are going to be scenes from the Carnosaur movies. A cop pulls over to inspect the dead truck driver and gets killed by, wait for it, another Carnosaur scene! Oh, a sex scene! That's original for the Carnosaur films. You know, I have a theory. The producers thought that the formula from the first three movies wasn't working that well to keep us entertained and paying to see these movies. So they thought they would mash a load of death scenes together, throw in a few new scenes, and throw in a few sex scenes. And that will keep us entertained. What a stupid idea, right? Now I am just going to sit here and struggle my way through this sex scene. Just save yourself and fast forward. What? Who's that? It's me from the future. You from the future? No, you from the future. You're talking about I'm not from the future? Are we seriously doing this? Hey, don't blame me, you started it. Or did we start it? Dear Lord. Hang on, why are you transparent? Ah, is it because you travelled back in time and now you're in a room with your younger self, so you've created a temporal anomaly and time is trying to pull you back, but you are fighting it? Don't ever try and sound intelligent. Ever. Okay, then why? No, I'm a ghost. I died watching that sex scene. Out of boredom. Wow. How long is it? Oh, about 8 minutes. 8 minutes? I died because of 8 minutes? Well, we are very impatient. That's true. And it was a very dull sex scene. Oh yeah, so dull. Like die of boredom in 8 minutes, kind of. Dull. Now fast forwards. Oh, all right. Ah, that's better. What the hell just happened? Well, I died of boredom watching that sex scene, and as a ghost I time travelled back here, and then told you to fast forward, thus skipping it and not dying of boredom. So therefore that timeline was averted, and now I'm not a ghost, but I am stuck several minutes back in the past. Well, I wouldn't worry about it. Everything will be back to normal by the next review with no explanation needed, and there certainly won't be 2 others because that would require a tremendous amount of editing on my part. Naturally. Well, I'm off. See ya. Well, that was weird. Okay, so back to the movie. Naturally there are laws of cinema, and those laws dictate that at least 50% of the sexually active characters have to die. So with that said... Then the sheriff's daughter, oh yeah, I should point out, that's the sheriff's daughter. She drives away, falls off the truck, and is left unconscious. The sheriff goes out to investigate the poultry truck, too, then gets a call over to see his daughter in the hospital. They tell him they don't know what happened, blah blah blah. She is in shock, induced by a coma, blah blah blah, made in an outside stimulant to wake her up, blah blah blah. But back at evil artist headquarters, we discover Dr. Hyde's motive. To create super intelligent dinosaurs. Why?
A dinosaur with a brain. A creature of superior strength, size, intelligence. We can train them to work with men.
Okay, let me tell you the outcome of this plan, if it succeeds. The dinosaurs overthrow man, take over the world, then enslave us, and... why can't we have a movie about that instead? The, guy in a white shirt says, no, I don't want any part in this. Well, actually, he just doesn't want to get caught.
Oh, I'm sorry that you feel that way.
But this is, of course, an evil organisation, and the man in charge asks him to perform one last task. Wow. Had Laughter activated lightning. It's quite good.
Before you go, there's one last thing that I was going to ask you to do this afternoon. It has to do with the training session of the Alpha T-Rex.
A T-Rex? I thought this film was about a raptor. If they're including all the dinosaurs from the past 3 movies, why not just call this Carnosaur 4?
Isn't that Karen's department?
Well, normally, yes, but it was something that you said last week. It made me think. I'm curious how it will react to the unfamiliar, such as yourself. And normally, Karen is working with them. So perhaps on the way out, you could just walk down the laser corridor and I could monitor it.
A laser corridor? No, wait, I know where we're going. Let's play another Carnosaur scene. They play the original Carnosaur scene with a new voiceover replacing what Diane Ladd said in the first film. The sheriff arrives at the evil headquarters, and I think the producers were clever enough because splitting the laser corridor clip from the Carnosaur into 2 halves helps disguise the fact that it's a clip from another movie. Except that that's utter bullcrap, but whatever. The evil villain decides he isn't in for the sheriff and goes back to watching Carnosaur. You know, I don't think we need to watch the rest of this clip. Mr. Henchman tells the sheriff Dr. Hyde is out, but that rude T-Rex interrupts them with a roar.
Animal attacks. I was wondering.
And Henchman fobs them off by saying it's just power generators. But we all know the real truth. It's just the wind. Nope. We're not doing that joke again. Go away. Bad, bad, bad Raptor. They go back to the hospital and use the recording of the dinosaur roar to shock her into waking up. The sheriff comforts her daughter while the movie kills off this guy with a Carnosaur scene. No shame. This movie has no shame. The sheriff plans to go back to the evil headquarters. But not without some insurance. He phones the power company and tells them to shut the power down to that building if they don't hear from him by a certain time. See, I told you that scene at the start had relevance to the plot. The military starts inquiring about the recent deaths near evil headquarters, and goes on to say that they terminated the Jurassic Storm project years ago due to the deaths that occurred in the first 3 films. And Dr. Hyde assures them that he is not privately continuing. You know, it might just be me, but I think he's not being completely honest. The sheriff goes back to the evil headquarters and is given the tour until they pull guns on them and lock them up.
Go. Go on.
Au revoir.
Meanwhile, back at the military, they don't believe Dr. Hyde either, so they have sent many men with guns. Ooh, maybe this will enable them to put some deaths in from Carnosaur 2 and 3 as well. The Marines land, and the power company realises that they're a bit late in shutting the power off.
Are you sure this is gonna be okay?
TJ, I want the entire power grid shut down now.
So now with the power out, the sheriff can escape his cell, as well as the dinosaurs. So cue the Carnosaur 3 deaths! She has a change of heart, but it's probably a little too late because... yeah, that. And naturally a raptor gets inside the helicopter and causes it to crash. So the military decides to plant bombs and make a run for it. After more soldiers getting killed and dinosaurs getting shot, the sheriff finds the soldiers, who agree to help him to safety. They all run in fear from the T-Rex trying to break out of the building. Dr. Hyde disguises himself to escape with the fleeing crowd before he gets caught between a few teeth. The military sees if bullets will affect this giant creature.
Come on, Sheriff!
Bulletproof skin, that's the secret. Oh yeah, well what else could I have expected? As always, they duke it out for a while until...
Eat this, Barney.
Eat this, Barney. Really? Again? You already did that. Do it for me back. You're gonna do it again. You did it again. No shame. No shame. No. You've given me arm spasms.
Bob, let's get out of here. It's gonna blow.
And then we get the big fiery ending. And then there's this, whatever the hell that is. So that was Raptor. Although it's not actually about a raptor, it's just about a load of dinosaurs created by science, and then they escape, and then kill a load of people and soldiers, just like all the other Carnosaur movies. So why wasn't it just called Carnosaur 4? Would the name have given it bad press? The effects were cheap, so many scenes were reused from the other movies. The movie has no point in existing, it's horrible, boring, too long and just plain painful to watch. Although I will say this for it, the acting was surprisingly okay, and the scenes from the previous Carnosaur movies were edited kinda good into this movie. I'm so glad this is the final film, and don't you dare make a 5th. See you next time.